It's Tigs tonight.
All right. Welcome to Tigs Tonight. We've got a packed show for you tonight. We've got some Oscar drama that no one asked for. Elon Musk being, well, Elon Musk. Trump opening up the JFK, RFK, and MLK files. ChatGPT going down. Thank God I missed that. And some crazy recalls that are going to make you double check your pantry and maybe your snowfield driveway. But before we dive in, let me give a shout out to the chat. You guys already know, that I'm going to hit these trending topics and all of that stuff. So hopefully everybody's thawing out. Coming in hot, we've got the one, the only, Miss Stacy G. What is going on, Miss Stacy G? We just talked about you. Blasey and I recorded our Bubba podcast tonight. We also recorded a TV show that'll be on Right Now TV as well, and we talked about you. We talked about John Costeca. Man, John, what a good time I had meeting you, getting to hang out with you at the BART party as well. I mean, this thing wouldn't be kicked off. It would not be a night rocking and rolling without Mr. Paul Rogers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Rogers and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bubba Fan 69. What is going on, brother? It is good to see y'all. Good to see all of y'all. Hope everybody is doing well. Those of you in the South are thawing out, starting to get everything kind of back to normal a little bit. Blasey potentially could be joining us later tonight. He wasn't sure. That dude's been busy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. We talked about it on the Bubba show. I didn't want to text him and kind of bother him and all of that stuff while I was at BART because I didn't want him to get FOMO. I didn't want him to feel he was missing out. And come to find out, he kind of actually would have preferred the opposite, that I would have been letting him know every little thing that was going on. So we broke that down in the Bubba show that'll come out this week, hopefully tomorrow. I got to get it done whenever we wrap this up tonight, which we're going to keep it to a tight 30-ish tonight. So when we wrap it up, that's the next thing I'm doing. I got to edit that so I can get it to Seth tomorrow, because all of the snow and everything put us a little bit behind. So what's going on, chat? Let's see. Costeca says it's 40 degrees, and this weekend in Indiana, it's balmy. A balmy 40. Blasey could not make it tonight. We just wrapped up doing two shows. I had the honor of visiting with him for 2 hours on shows, and he may pop in. But he started a new job last week, and it's taken him by storm. I mean, he even during these shows, when we did our TV show, we take a commercial break. Like, I read the script out so that it makes it easier for me to chop the shows up. When we would take a break, he was having to check his chat and all that stuff. And Costeca, we missed Blasey. So glad that I made it as well. We kind of talk about it. Blasey missed it too, and I tried to be. I could have been so much harder on him, y'all, in the whole show on that, but just kept it between the lines, just like I did the whole time. That's what I was trying to do. But chat, good to see you guys. Appreciate y'all more than you'll ever know. The love that I felt from the BART party, unbelievable. And I could talk about it on that show, but you guys deserve to hear it too. And it meant so much. Like, just coming away from that, it wasn't like I was discouraged or anything like that at all. I actually just have never, we don't know what folks think. Like, we've not been out in the wild and had that much interaction. We've had some folks that came from the Bubba Army to whenever we were breaking the world record at the cornhole toss. came to see us. That blew our mind, but just the outpouring of love and just getting to know everybody, man, it was just something else. It really, really was, man. I don't think I even expressed it as much as I feel it in the show that we did. It will continue to go on. I haven't had enough time still, even though we talked about it last night with JR, I still have not had enough time to completely process everything that happened on that deal. We'll get there. I got a lot more stuff coming up this week this weekend. My wife's 50th birthday party, so this will be it for the week. My wife's 50th birthday party, family coming in starting tomorrow. Her actual birthday is Sunday. So happy birthday to Tammy, the love of my life, my sweetheart. And man, we had so much fun on that BARP trip. Not going to keep harping on it because I can't stop talking about it. It was so much fun. T. Wayne Foster is in the house. And look, just real quickly, I haven't had a chance to really explain Mr. Terry Wayne Foster, but we went to high school together. Awesome, awesome dude. He taught me, I always say this, Terry, you taught me everything I know about exterior illumination. He taught me everything I know about these things, about computers, and I know nothing compared to him, but I know if I have a problem and I need something, my man's got me. My man's got me. So always, always happy to see him in here. And he's seeing us because we're live on Facebook, and he's not in Facebook jail at the moment. At the moment. I got a feeling it won't last. Maybe in this new era of Zuckerberg, he won't be in jail. We'll see. We will see. Happy birthday to my wife from Mr. Rusty. What's going on, Rusty? Happy birthday, says Paul. But look, let's jump into this. Let's talk about this show. This is what we've got to do. I've got a lineup of some things to kind of just go down rapid fire pace with. And let's say the first thing, it came out today. Let me see if I can pull this up. You know, there's some things that I did not prepare for before I went live with you guys, which was to share my screen and do all of that. There we go. All right. One of the first things that this just blows my mind that this happened and that it really did happen. Let's just listen. It's kind of not real loud.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
I mean, wow. That's the biggest. That's the story right there. I mean, that's it. So I'm going through everything, looking to put this little show together. And the very last thing, as I'm clicking, go on Twitter and see that, and I can't believe that actually happened. Almost as much as I can't believe it snowed. I really didn't think that he would do that. What do we get from it? We will find out. But my understanding is RFK Jr. will be in charge of that, and thank goodness. I mean, I think he deserves to be. His dad was assassinated in that deal, and his uncle. So I don't know what we're going to see. What do you guys think? I mean, what do y'all think will be revealed in this? As the CIA, the FBI, have they been behind some of this stuff? Will that be revealed? Will there be so many things that are blacked out that you're not able to see, or are they going to be able to make corrections here at the end of this deal before it goes out? Like, what do we see? But one thing, like them or not, you cannot say he said he was going to do that. He's done a lot of stuff that he said he would do here in this first week. That was one of them. That was one that I think that we wanted to see. Maybe maybe this is the president that actually reveals that we really do have UFOs out there, and that we are not alone. we're moving at a rapid fire pace. But anyhow, I think that is beyond newsworthy to say the least. This is something that, speaking of the ice and all of that stuff that that we've been dealing with here, this is something that made me realize, hey, things could be much worse. Look at this car. So a water main broke, covering this car. Look how thick that ice is. How the heck do you thaw that out? How are you ever going to thaw this car out? I mean, in Louisiana, you give it a day and it's going to get there, especially now. But, I mean, look at all these cars from this water main that busted. The longer that we go, man, the longer that we go, I realize, and doing the show that we just did about snow, I think you'll get a kick out of it, Paul, whenever you see it. You know, I mean, it's good that it visits every now and then, but it's great that it goes away as much as it does, because that kind of stuff is what we would actually have to deal with on the reg if we if we lived up north. I mean, it's a kudos to those guys from learning exactly what you have to deal with over the last few days throughout all of this. It just yeah, I get it, Paul. I get it. Why you would get tired of it. Yeah, amazing on the declassification. T. Wayne says it's wide open. I mean, haven't read the verbiage in that, but hopefully it is. It probably will embarrass the CIA. My thought process on this is that, I think maybe if the theories have been thrown out there, maybe our government was trying to finish Trump beforehand. And I'm not one of those that buys into all that stuff, but man, there's a lot of coincidences on that whole deal. And you can go check all of that out and listen to them and, make up your own mind on it. But just so many things that happen. Like, how's that guy get on that roof and even get a shot off, and all of that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Same thing with all of these guys. So my thoughts are maybe Trump knows that. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of this, and we're going to let everybody know exactly what happened. And then maybe we find out that didn't happen. But we found out enough in that first little wave of stuff that came out after 50 years to know that there's probably a lot more where that came from. Yeah. Rusty says he thinks that we're going to see a president involved. Wouldn't be surprised. And Paul says he's lucky it's not his responsibility to plow it. I couldn't, thank God. Yeah, dude. That's what would get old, is the plowing of the snow. But man, that whole Trump deal's crazy. I know that we'll talk more about that. Blasey and I were talking. He was going to try to hop in if he could, because I told him, look, man, the lead story of the whole night, 100%, is that this executive order to declassify these files, and we've been talking about it for forever. So a lot more to come from us on that. We're probably going to have to bring in our resident alien expert, Bowser, to have a conversation as well. So we'll see. Look, if you hadn't done it, hit that like button, share this. If you're watching it on Facebook, you're watching it on YouTube, wherever you're watching it, Twitter, X, make sure to share it. Some new news that I saw today, Duck Dynasty. I don't know about you guys, if y'all were big Duck Dynasty fans or if y'all watched any of that show, but it is coming back to A&E starting sometime soon. I'm not sure exactly when it's falling in. That should be fun. That's always interesting. I didn't watch a lot of it. Just, I like it. I like the people. It's awesome. It's in Louisiana. They're funny. I saw clips, stuff like that. My daughter loved it. Wife loved it. So they were pumped up to see it. But big news, it's coming back to the original deal, coming back to A&E. So pretty cool. Pretty cool there. ChatGPT went down today. I'm kind of surprised that I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I've said this before. You guys probably get tired of me talking about it, but I simply could not do this show at the level that we're able to do these shows without ChatGPT. It would take me hours and hours and hours that I do not have to actually do the job that that I do, selling insurance and taking care of policyholders and claims and all that stuff that I have to do. Could not do this whole deal without ChatGPT. And that's really whenever the show started to take off, whenever I was able to start using it as a tool. I get the titles for these shows, descriptions, sometimes ideas, graphics, thumbnails. Such a useful thing for me. So I didn't know. I haven't been using it because we've been doing so much snow stuff and been on the road and all that. So I haven't used ChatGPT as much as I normally do. But things got back to work today, and it was working for me, thank goodness, whenever I started putting stuff together for all these shows that we've done. So what are y'all's thoughts on ChatGPT? Do any of y'all use it? Am I just barking into the wind? Have y'all tried it? It's I mean, it sure is helpful. There we go. Terry, it's an awesome resource. And that's what it is. It's like having a bag and like having 7 of the 9 clubs needed. 7 of them with the ChatGPT can do anything and everything. It is such a great tool. It gives me so many ideas on stuff. I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, guys. But I can take our entire transcript of like this whole show that we've done, put that into ChatGPT and tell it, hey, give me some titles for this show. And it's way better than I ever could have thought. It'd take me days, if not months, to think of it. I just ain't that smart. But anyhow, went down today. It was trending on Google. I missed out on it. Thank goodness. Another thing going on with data today is Google had to fix a bit of a data error, kind of a huge data error that omitted President Biden from searches for U.S. presidents, United States presidents, and U.S. presidents in order, which led it to kind of trend. But somehow or another, it just forgot that, which is kind of funny in a way, but what a data error, and all they said was a very PC-like thing, that it was just a data error. Yeah, right. Terry says ChatGPT writes all of his work emails and letters since they limit his contact with the public, which is a good thing that they do for everyone there, for sure. He knows I'm right. And I take a lot of times, it takes the mistakes out of my emails. I'll write an email and then I will put it into ChatGPT, make it sound better, a little more professional or whatever. And it really is amazing. And that it's just going to keep, folks are going to use it more. Like, you can't put that genie back into the box once it's come out. You know what I mean? So we did mention that we're in technology, that we're going to talk about Elon being Elon. Well, a new study shows that Tesla owners are wanting to get rid of their car that they bought and spent a bunch of money on because they've cracked it. It was the headlines, I think, from the New York Post. Over Musk. They've cracked it over Musk. So I think a lot of this is stemming from the salute that he made, the wave, and of course, everybody's latching on to it. My thoughts on it is, you had all the choices of different waves. You could go, hey, you could do, hey, what's going on? You can even just do the simple one hand wave. You can jazz hand it. You can do the wave if you want to. But you don't do what he did, honestly. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I haven't heard what has been said. It's just not the smartest move. So I can't defend it. I can't say that it doesn't look like what people thought it looked like, because it does. It does. We were driving back from Tampa, from Barp, had it playing, wasn't watching it, was listening to it. There he is. Was 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 listening to it on the way home, and I start to hear them giving a little rhetoric that what he did looked like it was something like a Nazi salute. I saw it whenever we stopped for gas. Unfortunate situation. We're going to get Blasey's take on this. There he is.
Oh, what is going on, man? Just came.
Yes.
Sorry, I was out in the backyard hanging out my igloo. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, yeah, there's something going on inside. Let me pop in there for a minute.
Dang right. Dang right. Well, yes. So we're hitting on Elon and his poor salute that I'm not going to make. I won't go any further than that. I don't want my arm to extend. I felt he was hitting the heart. I felt that he went a little too far out with his hand, straight forward after that. A little too fast. A little too fast.
Well, you know, you've seen him do that before with like both.
I have
arms
seen him
and
do
stuff.
that.
It's more like the Richard Nixon type thing. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just you know what I mean? Like, I just think it happened to be one-handed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see him do it with two arms a lot. I don't think he meant it that way at all.
I certainly don't think that he meant it that way at all either. But these Tesla owners, they're ready to get rid of their damn cars over it. So I think that is,
yeah.
Yes, sir. You were missed. Sir. You were missed.
Yeah, man. I've been busy, guys. Been busy. Thought I'd hop in here for a few. I got still just doing some stuff tonight. So I was like, hold on, I got a few here.
Well,
got a few here. So I'm going to say hello, see what's shaking in the world of Tigs tonight.
Tigs tonight. We've hit on several things, mainly just, I don't know, just talking about stuff. But the big one just wrapped up before we went into Elon. Got to get your take on this one. Trump declassifying the JFK, MLK, and RFK files, Blasey.
Dude, that's gonna be great. I mean, like, give it to us. You know what I mean? Like, just give it to us. People say there's like all these concerns and ramifications of, like, you know, just tearing down government agencies, but isn't it the new world that we're in where, you know, that's why we got Doge and everything? Like, let's be transparent, man. And if we need to tear something down, let's tear it down and rebuild it and rebuild the trust again. And it starts with being transparent, you know, so
it does.
Find out who actually killed JFK, and the CIA is probably going to ruin that whole organization. But, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I cannot wait. It's going to be interesting to see how it comes out. I mean, my understanding is RFK Jr. is the one who's going to be leading this whole thing. Like, he's the going to be the overseer of it, for lack of a better term. I think he deserves to know who killed his father. I mean,
right.
It's just, I think everything is just, it's just the right time to finally know what happened. Even if it, and just like you said, I think the distrust in the government is already at an all-time high. I don't know if it could be any more distrusted, really. Then
I agree.
Why not try to tear it down and rebuild it, just like you said, that maybe it really is the time.
I think that's where we are. I mean, because I don't think anything would shock anybody. Any report that came out was something with the government screwing something up. But, you know, so give it to us, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is the age we're in.
Give it to us.
Yeah.
Mike Rucker has made an appearance.
Oh, yes, sir.
Let's go. Yes. Paul says a lot of liberals own Tesla. Elon's been unpopular with them for quite a while now, which is I find that comical that, number one, your car choice goes along with your political beliefs. Like, I just want something to get me from point A to B. I have a feeling that both Democrats and Republicans were probably involved somehow or another in the politics of how my Chevy Silverado, my wrecked Chevy Silverado, was manufactured. Probably both of them had a part to do with the way that funding came to them. So thanks, America. I'm not going to dick you because I don't agree with your politics. I'm not going to drive your car I spent $40,000 or more on. Like, just don't buy that car, idiot.
Yeah.
I have a
I mean,
problem with people who are going to make a
There's a-
boycott over stuff that they spent their hard-earned money on just because they disagree with one thing somebody has to say. Like, you can disagree with people.
Not today. You can't. Like, if you don't agree, you're out. Everything you do is out. I don't want anything to do with you. Anything that you've ever been associated with, any restaurants you've been to, I'm going to boycott them too. And anybody who likes you, I'm going to boycott them as well. And if anybody even mentions your name, I'm boycotting them too while we're at it. It's just crazy. It's just insanity. It's like Elon hadn't changed. Elon's the same. It's just like everything else is crazy. He's still very much liberal in a lot of his belief systems, which is totally great and fine. Like, everybody each their own. But just because you don't agree with a few things he says, I don't know, man. Like, whatever.
Exactly.
It's insane.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and Trump over the course of time. Can they remain?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I saw something about the knock on like that whole Stargate thing, and then that Trump was endorsing the $500 billion deal with the Stargate.
And then
he bashed it. He didn't like it. There's a little bit of, but there again,
so it begins.
It kind of belies the point. Like, he's not there to just go along with everything that he says. It's not the whole purpose of this.
I don't think Trump brought him in to be a yes man.
No.
I think he wants a little pushback. Now, if it gets too strong, I do believe that Trump will find a way to help move him along, but I don't know how you move him along. So,
what name would you give Elon? Like, if suddenly he became like his enemy somehow, what name do you think you'd give him? It's gonna be a good one though. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it'll be a good one.
I'm gonna have to think on that. Little battery pack,
little Schmeelon.
Lithium Elon. Let me tell you need some lithium.
Little battery guy. Double A, as I like to call him. Double A.
Little triple A. Sometimes they don't even know if he's that. He's a little minuscule battery that you put in a watch.
Yeah, more like a hearing aid battery.
Speaking of batteries and other things, there have been some recalls. As you know, we just hit the top of the headlines here, Blasey. Ford Motor Company is recalling more than 270,000 cars over potential battery failure that could cause a loss of power, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And it's in their Ford Broncos and Maverick vehicles.
Man, that's a lot of cars.
They contain 12-volt batteries manufactured by China, by the Chinese company Camel Battery. They're terrible people. And so they're
bad batteries, guys.
Really bad batteries. So it could cause crash and injury risks. It's a lot of vehicles, dude. It's a $250,000. Know which way you slice it.
Man, that's a ton. So just a battery changeover. That's not a big issue though. Like, as far as, it's pretty easy to fix.
It could be way worse. It's not like it's not like a bad seatbelt, which I've experienced that at some point and had to take a vehicle to. Oh, yeah, by the way, your seatbelt will just come unhooked while you're getting a wreck. That doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Recalls. I mean, recalls kind of piss me off, Blasey. With anything. Milk. Anything that gets recalled. Like, why didn't you test it right the first time? Get it right the first time. Speaking of other things that have been recalled, I'm sure that you have this kicking around your cabinet. First Aid Beauty has recently issued a voluntary recall on more than 2,700 pots of their best-selling Ultra Repair Cream in the coconut vanilla scent after a batch that was intended for quarantine was accidentally sold to customers. Basically, you can buy this on Amazon, and lots of people did, but you have no idea if you got a bad batch.
Bad Batch. There's a podcast on that called Bad Batch. But anyway, that's a different deal. But you know what? That wasn't accidental. They just got busted. Somebody said something. They didn't want to waste all that product, and they went, going to shoot it out the door. It ain't going to hurt anybody. It may not be very effective, but it ain't going to hurt nobody. It's okay. And now they're dealing with it. It happens every
Now-
day, man. It still happens. 2025, it still happens everywhere. If somebody thinks they can make a financial decision and get away with something like that, and it's not going to hurt anybody, or even if it just hurts a few people, let's
They
go
won't
ahead and
ever
run it.
notice. Nobody's going to say
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, they won't know. Yeah, yeah. Last thing on the recalls, big day of recalls today.
This is just today's recalls?
These are just today's recalls. This is what's trending on Google Trends.
Recall day.
Recall day. Walmart chicken broth is now on a class 2 recall, whatever that means. Chicken broth sold by Walmart in several states, including Georgia, Oklahoma, and Texas, has been classified as a class 2 recall. I bought some in Tallahassee on the way home, literally. But
Walmart?
Already have eaten all that potato soup. Didn't make me sick. I guess I
Oh,
survived.
you're okay then. You survived. You probably
I
cooked it down
survived it.
enough.
Probably one of the ones that they got away with
Probably so.
as
Probably
they
so.
poison America. So that's this week's segment of recalls.
Recalls.
Which could turn into a whole segment on the show.
Man, I start keeping an eye on that. Just that. It's a lot of recalls in a day.
It's a lot of recalls. It really, really is. We'll start to wrap things up here. Stripe, the payment company, the payment processor company, had a little bit of an incident. They're laying off 300 people in the company. Never a good thing, which is about 3.5% of their workforce. And they sent these folks emails. And in the emails to some of these terminated employees, the company accidentally sent an image of a yellow cartoon duck. I just can't help but to laugh. So like a happy cartoon duck. You're fired. Can you imagine?
That's great, man.
Isn't it? So these poor people, the official spokesman said some impacted Stripes received a notification error to their personal email accounts. I apologize for the error and any confusion it caused. Corrected and full notifications have since been sent to all impacted Stripes. Do you
Oh,
think
my
they sent a new
God.
duck with like a sad face or something like quack, quack?
Oh, that's crazy, dude. That reminds me. One time, I was working for. I don't need to call them out. It was an accident, but
Don't
so I was
call them
working-
out.
Medtronic. So I was working at Medtronic, and big company though, right? So they were getting ready to go through a downsizing. And while I was there, I got fired and rehired 3 different times. But anyway, they're going through a downsizing, and they messed up and sent everybody in the organization the talking points of when they're getting ready to go to do this call and start terminating people, and what to say, what not to say, how to say it. Like it was like the whole talking point sheet, like a very internal memo. And it went out to everybody, and everybody saw it. Then they recalled the email, but we'd all seen it.
Yeah.
And I'd already sent it to my personal email. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, no, I got this bad boy, And it was just, and then, I was involved in that too. And it was like, even, people I was talking to, they like, this is so weird, Like, you could tell the HR person was like, the talking points, and we're going to have to do it anyway. It was just bad, man. But you just realize it is what it is, It is what it is. But yeah, we didn't get a duck. A duck would have been kind of cool.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, I was taking a duck.
The last thing, Blasey, and
Yeah.
let's the AFC and the NFC championship. Like that's this weekend, and winner goes to the Super Bowl. Last time we did sports picks, by the way, I think we did 8, and I think I went 7-1 on that deal, if I remember right. I didn't calculate it before tonight.
I didn't.
But I know at
didn't
one
either.
point I was undefeated. Great deal. So we got Bills and Chiefs,
Yep.
and the Commanders and the Eagles.
Yes, we do.
Who you got going to the Super Bowl, man?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I like the way those Commanders are playing right now. Like that performance they put on the other night. They're getting a lot of swagger. That's a team that's just I mean, this is a year they weren't supposed to even be there yet, and
No,
now they're
not yet.
there. And then I think you look at Philly, man. They got kind of beat up last week. Jalen Hurts looked a little hurt. He took some shots in that game. I feel like they're coming in. I mean, they're still a really good football team, but I think the Commanders get it done there. And
they kind of feel like a team of destiny, don't they?
They do. It's like to me, it's like the Chiefs 2.0 over there taking place, and everything they got going, and the energy and everything else. And so. Yeah, and I think I'm rooting for them. I think that's going to be my team.
I'm 100% rooting for them, no doubt.
Oh, of course you are. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
yes,
well, I mean,
it.
Obviously. But I would be even if Jaden Daniels wasn't playing there. I'd still be rooting for him.
But I like that guy, man. I don't care. Forget where he played college. Don't forget. But you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that's a good dude, man. Like
good dude.
He
just
it.
keeps
He's a great
getting
athlete.
Better. He's even better than he was at LSU
he's
last
unflappable.
year. How's that possible?
Unbelievable. He's
he's in the league.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Crazy.
I'm proud of him.
So I got them against. I'm gonna go ahead and say it real quick. The Chiefs, dude, they own the Bills. They're gonna own them again this year. They own them. You know what I mean? I just don't think the Bills are gonna get it done.
I know. John Costeca, he wants the Bills versus the Commanders.
That'd be a great game.
Hey, I mean, yeah. Mike wants Bills, Commanders. Paul Rogers, Bills, even though he hates the Bills and Commanders, Bills and Commanders, and Terry wants Eagles and Buffalo. He just doesn't like LSU. I know why Terry doesn't want any positive things to come from LSU. I get it. I mean, I'm pulling for the Bills until I'm convinced that the referees are not going to put the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I don't believe they're going to make it. Maybe this is the year the Bills finally get back to the Super Bowl. I think the winner of the Bills and Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. I'll go ahead. I'm not going to back off of that no matter what. I'm not going to back off of it.
Those are two really good football teams.
I think that's the Super Bowl. And then I think I'm kind of with you, Blasey, and I'm hoping that it's not just a want to, but I really do think the Eagles are a little more beat up. It's going to be tough to play in Philly. Never easy there.
Nope,
Never, ever, ever.
It's not.
But I think the Commanders are so young and dumb that they don't know any different.
They don't.
And they can just go in there. I don't know what the weather's like at either joint this weekend. I haven't looked at that. We'll see. But no, I did not, Paul. I haven't seen the Philly mayor, but Lord knows. The city of brotherly love. Not a fan of Philly over here. No offense to any of y'all who live in Philly. You understand. You don't want us to like you anyhow, so you don't care.
No, they want to be hated.
No, they don't. They want to be hated, and they're good at it. They're a good villain.
They're really
great villain. Well, Blasey, that's all I got tonight for Tigs. Tonight, I'm so glad you were able to join us on this as well. We recorded three hammer shows tonight, in my opinion, and we're going to get back at it on Monday. Tigs tonight we'll be cranking up, and who knows what we're going to talk about. Going to have a fun weekend. I do know that. Shout out, happy birthday to my lovely, lovely bride, Miss Tammy.
Yes. Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to my son, Hale. Today's his birthday.
And yes.
The big one, too. The big one, too, baby.
That's right. That's right. Happy birthday to him. Well, guys, y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. And we'll see you next week.
It's Tigs tonight.